Here's how I would select my marketing strategies for a B2B company if I was starting from scratch. First thing that we need to look at is the vision and mission of the company and work out where it is the business needs to get to versus where it is now. This is something that people don't think about enough. We need to take it right the way back to the business strategy and keep it simple and answer the question, how is marketing going to help this company get from where it is now to where it needs to be? With the vision, we need to ask leadership, where do we see the company in 5 years? Some leaders might say we want steady organic growth through existing relationships. We want to delight our clients and make sure that we're providing a world-class service. Others might say we need to triple in size. So you need to figure out what they want. Have a bit of a conversation with them about the business strategy. Business strategy can sound really scary, but I like to think of it as simply what stands in our way of achieving our vision. Our mission is simply why we exist. I really don't like the fluffy links that mission has and how people talk about it. The mission is why we're here. What do we need to uphold? What are we constantly doing? That is delighting our customers. What's our reason for being here? Missions can be really useful when we're thinking about things like new services. Does that service fit in with our mission and why we exist? So mission and vision are quite different, but when you really think about the terminology, it makes a lot of sense. The vision is where do we envisage ourselves in the future, and the mission is what are we actually here to do? What are we collectively doing as a group of people? When you've had the conversation with leadership about the business strategy to achieve the vision and uphold the mission, you can ask them what are the different strands of focus they're going to be putting their energy into over the course of 1, 3, 5 years. That's then the framework that you can attach your marketing strategy to. For example, if they say, well, one of the things stopping us being a leader in our industry is that our customers are not currently very satisfied with us, you can then set marketing objectives that line up with ensuring that you are delivering a first-class service to customers. Often we think that marketing objectives need to literally just be about growth, about leads, but really the definition of marketing is to satisfy customer needs profitably, and I don't think that generating sales leads goes far enough to covering what marketing is all about. I think the most crucial part of a marketing strategy in B2B is setting the objectives, because it's where everything stems back to. Quite a lot of the time I see marketing objectives that are like generate 10,000 web visitors, increase sales leads by 20%, but actually we need to go further back than that and directly link it with what the business needs to achieve. That's not to say that we wouldn't care about number of web visits, but that's more of a key performance indicator than the objective itself. For example, if we know that we usually get 10 new clients for every 10,000 web visitors we have, the number of visits to our website would be an indicator that our online marketing is generating the amount of traffic that would be needed for that funnel, but it is by no means the end output. Otherwise, you could just end up completely obsessed with the wrong things. And that's where you start to see marketing reports that are showing open rates on emails rather than closed business and opportunities that are live inside the sales pipeline. Once you've set your marketing objectives, you then need to select the strategies. I recommend as few strategies as possible. What is the difference between strategies and tactics? Well, strategies answers the question, what are the big things we need to do? For example, if we have poor client retention rates, a strategy could be gain an understanding of what our customers need and create a feedback mechanism with account departments so that we can increase this rate, just as an example. The tactics attached to that, so I recommend doing strategy into tactic as one flow piece, is we're going to conduct interviews with our core clients every 6 weeks, and we're going to feed that back into accounts departments to make sure that they then follow up on any changes that need to be made. And we will also prepare a report for leadership on common themes that we're seeing in feedback that's coming up so that we can strategically realign our services. That would be one tactic against one strategy. Another tactic against the same strategy could be enhance our customer journey through marketing automation using our CRM and XYZ tools. So you're getting very specific about literally what you will do to achieve that overall strategy. What loads of marketers are doing is just starting with tactics with none of the earlier work. Then need to pick a process for measurement and reporting. I typically recommend that the board have a quarterly performance report that is formally presented to them, and that marketing have got monthly reports that tells them, are we on the right track? How are our campaigns going day to day, week to week? But leadership only need to see the top level business scorecard information, like how many deals are in the pipeline, how are things going overall, and are we seeing results, because this is what they're going to care about. I do want to make a quick point about the importance of foundational brand basics. So before we dive into activities and strategies, we need to make sure that we've identified our ideal audience. Who is it that buys from you? What other options are available to them? Why would you be the better choice over those other options, and how can you prove it? Bring that into your brand positioning, which is a very specific niche process that I help clients with. That is so important, because then once you've got a content plan, a content strategy, you know that you're talking to the right audiences with the right things. Lastly, in terms of your channels, do not take on more than your budget can afford you, or more that you can manage to really plow a lot of effort, consistency and persistence into. For example, set your marketing budget. Talk to finance about the idea of 4 to 8% being a typically healthy marketing budget for a B2B company, as long as there is a healthy profit margin of 15% or above, or whatever is deemed to be healthy within your industry. Select that marketing budget as like a guide as to what is safe and healthy to be working with, and then look at what kind of reporting mechanisms you'll have for demonstrating return, while keeping in mind that most of the time in B2B companies, there's a bit of foundational work to do with the really identifying the audience, brand positioning work, creative, web strategy. So that could include, really overhauling the website so that it's serving online needs, making sure that the CRM systems are right and that the strategies are correct with the data. There's a lot of work to put in place at a foundation level so that you can then move into executing tactics. Now, you might want to outsource the strategic elements or ask me questions as you get stuck. I am thinking of launching the B2B club. If anyone would like to place in comments if they'd be interested in this, is a place where you can just ask me questions. I can be there along with others to kind of point you in the right direction, share resources, and go live a couple of times a month. Let me know if that would be interesting. And then the other resource to point you to is my podcast that goes into a lot more detail on these type of topics. All the best, and that is how I would approach selecting marketing strategies starting from scratch.